Welcome to Sissygram Stories channel. Today, I come up with whole new story content for you. If you like my voice and my voice makes you feel soft and feel relaxed, then hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily lifestyle changing videos. Now let's start the story. Alex sat at the edge of his bed, his hands clasped tightly and his gaze fixed on the floor as if the right words might somehow appear there. He had rehearsed this conversation countless times in his mind, but now that his mother was standing before him, those carefully practiced words seemed to evaporate. Finally, after a long silence, he managed to speak, his voice trembling. "Mom, I need to tell you something." Alina, who had been folding laundry, glanced up at her son with a curious but gentle expression. "What is it, honey? You look like you've seen a ghost." Alex's heart raced as he struggled to summon the courage to reveal the truth he had carried for so long. "I don't think I'm meant to be Alex anymore," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Alina froze, her hands still on the shirt she was folding. Her full attention turned to Alex, though she didn't say a word. The silence was heavy, pressing down on him as he pushed forward. "I felt this way for a long time," Alex continued, his throat tight with emotion. "I've been secretly wearing women's clothes, trying to figure out why it feels more right for me. Mom, I think I'm transgender. I believe I'm meant to be your daughter, not your son." The silence between them stretched uncomfortably, each second feeling like an eternity. Alina's hands trembled as she set the shirt aside. Her eyes, now filled with unreadable emotions, locked onto Alex. "Alex," she whispered, disbelief laced in her tone. "This is a lot to take in." "I know," Alex said quickly, desperate to bridge the growing distance he sensed. "I know this is huge, and I've been terrified to tell you, but I can't keep hiding who I am. I need to start living as the person I truly feel I am. I want to transition." Alina slowly lowered herself onto the bed beside him, her hands shaking slightly as she reached out to hold his. "You're my child," she said softly. "I love you, but I don't understand. This is so sudden. Are you sure? Maybe this is just a phase. Maybe you're confused." Alex's chest tightened. He had feared this response, the hope that this could be explained away as something temporary or fleeting. "It's not a phase," he said quietly but firmly. "This is who I am. I've known for years." Alina sat silently, her grip on Alex's hand loosening. "Thank you for sticking with me until of this story. If you enjoyed it, please consider supporting us by liking this post or leaving a comment below." The confusion in her eyes hurt more than outright rejection ever could. After what felt like an eternity, she finally spoke, her voice hesitant. "I need time to process this," she said, standing slowly. "I'm not saying I don't love you. I need to think about it." Alex nodded, tears stinging his eyes as he watched her leave the room. He felt more alone than ever before. A week passed in uneasy silence. Alina hadn't brought up their conversation again, and Alex was too afraid to press her. Instead, he spent his days in his room, scrolling through stories and videos from other transgender people, searching for comfort and guidance. Late one evening, there was a soft knock on his door. When Alex opened it, he was surprised to see Alina standing there, holding a small shopping bag. "Can I come in?" she asked, her voice hesitant. Alex nodded and stepped aside as Alina entered the room. She sat on the bed, clutching the bag nervously. "I've been thinking a lot about what you told me," she said, finally meeting his eyes after days of avoiding them. I won't pretend to understand everything, but I love you. And I want to try. Alex's heart lifted at her words, even though he could sense her lingering hesitation. Alina continued, pulling something from the bag. I went to the mall today. I thought maybe you'd want to pick something out with me. She held up a simple light pink blouse. Alex's breath caught in his throat. It wasn't much, but the gesture felt monumental. His hands trembled as he reached out to take the blouse, overwhelmed by the love and effort it represented. Mom, you didn't have to. I wanted to, Alina interrupted, her voice steadier now. I don't know if I'm ready to understand all of this, but if this is who you are, I want to support you. You're my child, and that doesn't change just because you might be my daughter instead of my son. Tears welled in Alex's eyes as he hugged the blouse to his chest. Thank you, he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. Alina smiled, though sadness lingered in her expression. I'll be in the living room if you want to try it on, she said, giving him space. The moment she left, Alex slipped out of his clothes and carefully pulled on the blouse. The soft fabric felt comforting against his skin. For the first time in days, he looked at himself in the mirror with a glimmer of hope. Over the next few months, Alex, who now went by Anna, took small but meaningful steps toward living as her true self. She experimented with makeup, tried on clothes that matched her identity, and gradually began to feel more comfortable in her skin. Alina was still adjusting. Sometimes she slipped and called Anna by her old name, or used the wrong pronouns. But she was trying, and that effort meant everything. One evening, Alina knocked on Anna's door, carrying a small box. I've been talking to a few people, she said, setting the box down. I joined a support group for parents of transgender children. Anna's heart swelled with emotion. Mom, you didn't have to. I wanted to, Alina said, cutting her off with a smile. One of the mothers I met told me makeup can be tricky to learn at first, so I thought maybe we could practice together. I never got to teach you this stuff before, and I'd really like to. Tears filled Anna's eyes as she hugged her mother tightly. I love that, she whispered. That night, they sat together, laughing and experimenting with different looks. It was a moment of connection they hadn't shared before, and it felt like a new chapter in their relationship. As Anna's confidence grew, she began coming out to her friends, who were overwhelmingly supportive. Each step she took toward living authentically was daunting, but knowing her mother was by her side made it easier. One day, as they sat on the couch together, Alina turned to Anna with a thoughtful expression. You've changed so much, she said softly, not just on the outside, but in here. She touched her chest over her heart. You seem happy. Anna smiled, warmth spreading through her. I am, Mom. I really am. Alina reached for her hand, squeezing it gently. I want you to know I'm proud of you. I'm still learning, but I can see how much this means to you. And that's what matters most. You're my daughter, and I love you. Anna hugged her mother tightly, tears streaming down her face. Thank you, Mom. That means everything to me years later. As Anna stood in front of the mirror in her graduation gown, she smiled at the confident, beautiful woman reflected back at her. Ready? Alina called from the doorway, her eyes shining with pride. Anna turned and nodded. Ready, walking side by side with her mother. Anna knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, her mother's love and support would always be there. And that, more than anything, made the journey worthwhile. Okay, my sweetheart. story ends here. Now I want to know your thoughts in comments section. Also, like and share this video with your social media account. I will come up with new content on this Sissygram Stories channel, so subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Take care and have a nice day. See you soon, sweetheart.